taking place is quite mind-boggling. And good morning, everyone. We've been doing a podcast every night at 8:30 p.m. Story time with Gina, not China, Gina. And it's been focusing on an alien invasion. I think it's like the Draconians and the Saurians or something like that. Good morning, Jeffrey, honey. And it was like the second in a like series. I found this website talking about this invasion that is taking place. And we got into Eisenhower. Good morning, Brenda. Eisenhower. And, we've heard about Eisenhower, the 1947, the 1950s, all of that kind of stuff. And it has really gotten in depth. It was quite draining yesterday reading all that I was reading. I think it's going on and on and on. It's like even more details than my little mind could handle. Oh my gosh, I'm thinking, what is going on here? Because he was approached by some good extraterrestrial beings who warned him of the bad aliens. I think it was the Greys or something, that they are a danger. And they wanted to help them with them. Of course, Hitler and the technology and the United States making a deal with the United States for whatever. But they sided with the bad aliens and traded the humans, and they weren't going to do no harm to the humans. And they would provide a list, and it talked about the Majestic 12. There was like a Majestic 1, 2, 3, 4, and they were supposed to be individual people. The MJ1s, the MJ2s, and then you got the MJ12. That was like an individual thing. It wasn't like, I don't think it was like an organization or anything like that. But the timeline with Eisenhower and how the Bilderbergs and then how the Rockefellers wove their way into this. We ended last night how the Rockefellers may not have even got to that. How that was the biggest mistake that he would ever make. And I really don't believe that he was in complete control. I'm sure there was something else or somebody else or some other type of non-human-like species who was calling the shots. I believe he was probably forced to do, because you're just a mouthpiece. You're a puppet. You're a mouthpiece. You're to represent the establishment. No matter what country you're in, you're put in that position for a purpose while things go on behind the scene. But it's mind-boggling, you all, if you think about it, that there are aliens, an ongoing alien invasion that has been taking place, and there's warring factions on this earth. It sounds so sci-fi. It really does, and it's a lot to take in. It's okay to sit there and watch a movie and stuff that depict it, but then when you start reading, and then you got these timelines, and you got these major players being woven into this narrative, but it ain't really a narrative. It's actually real world. They talk about all these secret societies and orders that popped up, like the Order of the Snake, and then CFR, and then there were several others. Well, I think there was like a total of around 9 different types of organizations, and there was several of them I have never heard of. Good morning, everyone. You just tuning in. Good morning. How we doing? That's right. So it is mind-boggling. We are sci-fi. Rosie, honey, she does not want to come out. My husband tried to take her out yesterday. She lasted around 1 minute on the porch. She wants to go back in. And this morning when I brought her out, she got to the edge of this lovely little butterfly. Hello, butterfly. She is flying around me. There it is right there. You see the butterfly. It's so beautiful. Rosie, I let her walk to the edge of the porch, and she just stood there with her left leg held up in the air, and she was looking that way. And then she turned around and she wanted to go back in. I thought, Rosie, what are you doing? Because she stops right here, with her left leg up in the air and turns around and goes in the house. She didn't last long at all. So there's a lot of radiation coming in, Michael. Hello there, Rich the Prophet, honey. I hope you're doing good. Well, we don't got no moderators on here right now, I don't think. But they'll be on later. They might see it later. And if they don't, that's okay, you all. Yeah, it's all right. They probably don't get the notification, and or they might be busy too. Yeah, it's okay. At least we're on here, you all. It's really serious if you think about it, because what was laid out, if you haven't seen those, and they're like around an hour long every night. The story time, an alien invasion, the Draconians and the Saurians, and they said, I forget if it was last night or the night before when what we were reading, that the Greys were their most dangerous to the human race, the most dangerous. And last night, somebody, I forget what it was an account of the praying mantis, the insectoids. They were talking about all these spaceships, these UFOs that had crashed, and they found some living extraterrestrials, living aliens, and some had died and stuff, but they spoke of insect beings with insect legs and arms. That's the birds. Yeah. And this one craft, they went into it, and it was gross. They saw body parts of humans inside their ship. They don't know what the aliens wanted with specific body parts and stuff, but they saw them in the ships, and it was like, oh my gosh. And then somehow they made an agreement with some kind of race of beings. They would give us 16 of their whoever's, and we would give them 16 of us, our humans from different countries or something like that. And they would go with these beings to these other places to where they came from. It sounds really wild, and I just thought, I'm so exhausted. I can't read anymore. It was so much to take in, you all. But I read, but it's not done yet. There's probably 2 more podcast nights of reading that from that site, and it was a lot of research that these people put in. They had all types of research that they compiled together, people who've been there and all that kind of stuff, and just put it in one place. They really are trying to raise awareness of what's happening on this earth. And they said that the aliens, they would, when they abduct the humans, they would put a microchip or something, but normally behind the ears, somewhere in their head, and that's how they would track the people they would abduct. And there have been several, I don't know how many people who, it was very hard to detect, but when they did detect it, they tried to remove it, and everybody died. Everyone they tried to remove one of those chips from, they died because of the location of the chip. So they got you. If you've been abducted, which chances are you have been. And then I thought, when they said behind the ear, I thought, I wonder if that's why in certain parts of your ear you have like a very high like frequency or something. And some more than others. Some really hear it continually. Oh, they said with that chip, they can control the human, is what they can do. The aliens, whatever species that was, they control them. So you think about that. If they control the humans, the ones that they abducted, and use them for experimental purposes, and they said they would take their ova, and they would take their sperm, and they would erase their memory of what happened. That was the plan. They would erase their memory. They wouldn't remember anything. Well, we have that technology too now. We erase the memory. And so like that period of time, and there may be a whole lot of people still around the world. It was last year. A lot of people, you go to bed fine, absolutely fine. Your body feels fine. You feel fine. You wake up the next morning and you feel like you got a whiplash. You can't turn your neck or nothing. You're like, there was lots of people had that, and their back, their shoulder, they could barely move their shoulder and stuff. Some people had been sent to the hospital and their shoulder was dislocated after going to sleep at night and waking up the next morning. So it could have been a mass abduction or mass influx of aliens, which are interdimensional at times, who attacked lots of people. Like when I woke, I was fine the night I went to bed. I had a mat that I lay on the bed, I lay on the floor up there when I'm up there in that loft area and I'm on the YouTube late at night. I had a mat. I like that mat too. It's one of those foam mattresses. I felt fine when I went to bed. I woke up the next morning. I could not even get off the floor. I could not put pressure on my knees. My knees were so swollen. And I thought, what on earth happened? I had to crawl to get something to pull myself up. I felt like my knees had been busted, like they bent my knees backward. And there was other people who had their joints. There's something wrong with where they bend their things. I don't know what they do into the people. I don't know what they did to me, but it sent me to the doctor. I went to this other person, see if I had any arthritis or anything. He said, no, you don't got none of that. Now, thank God, it took like 3 or 4 months for the swelling to go down. The doctor did give me something for swelling, and I took that, and I also had taken some activated charcoal. It's been my knees. I could not even get up from a sitting position whatsoever. I couldn't. I had to wear things on my knees. So these beings, yeah, they erased my memory and they erased your memory when you had your neck all whiplashed and your back and your shoulders. And people were waking up, people in their families, massive migraines. The whole family, children and all, massive migraines. You go to bed fine, you wake up, boom. Just like that. Why? Because they made a deal. Well, I think these bad extraterrestrials, these bad aliens, the ones who were a danger, I think that they have reneged on what they said, unless they were just using us all to show them, we got this technology. Look what we can do to your people. Look what we can do to the humans. We'll do a thing, and we'll have people, you know, those videos that I would do, are you feeling it? That right there. They got a lot of views. And because I said, is your neck hurting? And then all of a sudden, people from all over the world, oh yeah, they woke up and their neck was hurting. They feel like they had whiplash. Couldn't turn your head. I remember sitting on the swing right there. I could not turn my head side to side. You couldn't do it. If this happened to you, you could not do it. And that's probably what they did. Look, we got this technology and you can use this. This is what we can do, and this is what you can do also. I'm sure they made some more deals with them. Yeah, keep on doing it. As long as you erase their memory, we can get them. Yeah. That's right. You can pray in Jesus' name, but it's after the fact when your knees are all busted. When your knees are all busted, when you can't turn your thing. But I started praying like I used to when I was a child before I go to bed, and even here recently, even before all of that, but sometimes I wouldn't. But then I thought, oh yeah, I am going to pray now. Every time I go to bed, I'm going to pray for protection. And I do. I get down on my knees before I go to sleep, and I pray. And when I wake up in the morning, I pray too. Get down on my knees and I pray. That's what I saw my dad doing. Every morning, get down on his knees and he pray. Even when he was going through Alzheimer's and he couldn't remember anything, he could pray, and he did. So they didn't get his mind completely, because that spirit inside of him still acknowledged this draconian war, this Saurian war, and some of the Greys, the worker bees, they like robotic like, and they wear ball caps. Isn't that weird? You steel ball cap? Why would they have a steel ball cap on their head? Something like that. 2 years ago, tells how the aliens come at night and they take mommy and daddy while they are sleeping, and he goes into great detail. Wow. Their butt. Yeah. Okay, you got to go, Yankee Ward. Go on. You got to go. Hope you have a good day. Rich the Prophet, honey, you had a dream a few nights ago. In the dream, you was home with your wife, and there was an extraterrestrial gray hiding in the shadows of your home. You confronted this gray, and I told it to leave, and it got mad. Well, that's just too bad. It can get mad all at once. We did read, this is months and months ago. It was on Wiki Fandom, and I think there's a whole lot of truth in the Wiki Fandom. I really do. How the United States would enter its first interdimensional warfare when visitors come and they decided they go into battle with them. It'll be the first interdimensional warfare that is ever fought. And Russia and China also would be behind that too, inviting in these demons or whatever they people want to call it. But they do. They're. It's kind of like I don't know. You see the army that what was his name on the Lord of the Rings? That guy, the king of Gondor, Aragon. He went into the mountains, and they said none but the king of Gondor can summon us, can summon us or whatever. And then he summoned an army, an interdimensional army, and they swept through and they beat the evil dark forces. He did. Your young nephew would tell his mom he woke up at that friend's house and came last night. Oh my gosh. They don't like the light flashes and stuff. You all, if you got something, yeah, that's right, Tracy Lynn. If you got something that's been happening or you're hearing it, please put it in the comment section here because it's really informative. People are going to read the comments. And it's gathering of information too. It is. Because something definitely is occurring. There's like an invasion, an ongoing invasion. And it had, you notice how when this stuff started coming into being, is like 1947, 1948, all these agencies springs into action like the CIA. Then you have the Roswell, and all the information is, it's like certain levels of government and stuff like that. Boom. They infiltrated everything, every facet of society that had any type of control. The bad entities infiltrated it. And they had humans do their bidding in exchange for stuff. You know, like it's like this. If you bow down and worship me, I will give you all the kingdoms, everything in front of you. If you will bow down and worship me. He said, it is written. Didn't he say that? Yeah, he said it. He would give him. So you can do a whole lot of stuff if you do the bidding of the evil one. You can. They'll promise you a lot, but there is a price to pay, a great big price. You're going to sell your soul to the devil, more or less, or to the darkness. If you was the Dark Lord and someone came and told me about it, you would be impressed. Your cats as well kept staring at the window, making a cuffing noise. It was weird, you all. Rich the Prophet, honey, you got to go to work. We hope you have a beautiful day. We really do. Your people will die from lack of knowledge. That's right, somewhere in time. That's exactly what it says because they refuse to hear. Otherwise, in other words, they don't want to hear that. They want to gather around a group to tell them what their itchy ears want to hear, not what they need to hear. They want to live in their own bubble. Don't shatter the reality. But it seems like this is a really strange reality now. Even though you know the existence of UFOs has been there, but when you start seeing it laid out on a timeline, things that happen, and it just, you can see where the powers that be just like wove their way into the fabric of humanity. Boom, for the ultimate harvest is taking place. And it's like that. Is that Jupiter Rising, that movie, Jupiter Ascending, whatever that movie that came out a long time, not a long time ago, I think last year, that ship, the evil brother, he was coming to the earth to harvest the humans because he wanted it. And the woman Jupiter, Jupiter Ascending, she was the reincarnation of his mother, and he wanted her to marry him. And she found out about his evil scheme, and he was in the process of wanting to gather the people, harvest the earth ahead of time, and she stopped him. So there's something to it, you all. The harvesters, these alien harvesters or something. It sounds wild. It's so much to wrap your mind around, you all. The draconians, and there's more than just them. And 75, there was like a 75 bases that they had millions and millions and millions of dollars. They say, oh, it's for the presidential bunker, and they got a great big hole you go down into. That's where they all these bases for the aliens inside the earth. And they said there was a lot of alien human bases also, but they got them all deep down in there. And that's the underground bunkers. Yeah, that's the underground bunkers. But the money, secret money, nobody knew where it went. But they built it because of the aliens, because of the deal with the aliens and stuff. Enjoy your last days. You're going on a world cruise. Hold them close, Christine, Alexandria. I hope you have a good cruise. Yeah. Michael, you can't hold on. What, you get blisters? Somebody's got blisters? Who's got blisters? Cosmic Cowboy. It's the people are now realizing it's been going on for a long time. That's right. Is anyone on the phone oddly running super hot the last few days? Anyone else's phone? Yes. It gets hot. It gets really hot. Yeah. It gets really hot, you all. Your phone does. Your phone will get hot. And it's probably radiation or something. Hello, Faye. I can't really see that well. Oh no, we're just talking about this invasion, how even though, there's knowledge and about extraterrestrials, aliens, different types of UFOs, the Roswell, that's just the tip of the iceberg. And there's a lot of people further along on their exploration of what really happened. They know all the details because they've really spent years and years and years and years and years researching. But a lot of people haven't, like me, 2018, 2019, 21, 20, 21, 22, 23. This is like now I'm doing a story time with Gina and reading about the deals, really, and the body parts found in their craft. But I was told by my one friend, his name was Daryl, he was in Texas, how the insectoid queen, she had her eyes set on him, and he went in her craft. He did. She protected him. And he said they would take his body. They would and take him out of his house and go through the walls, go up in the ship. And she took him down into the ocean. He flew down in there, and she showed him that stuff right there. And then they came up out of the ocean, and then they went up through the atmosphere. And he said they went to this planet, the planet where she was from, the queen. He said she was like a queen, insectoid is what she was. And he saw this UFO on the inside. Now, he saw the inside of this UFO area. Something, it had feces, it had human body parts strewn all over the place, he said. All over the place. And she took him to see these pods, where these incubators, and it was like baby insectoids and stuff. He got the sense that she showed him that because that is what some of his sperm and their whatever created. They were like his children. They were trying to keep their race alive, and they used some of his sperm and stuff to do that. And he said one time this man was making fun of him and bullying him, and he wouldn't stop. And this queen, this insectoid, showed up at that person's house and some kind of like a beam of light or something, it shined right on his face and burnt his eyes like that. And he didn't bother him anymore. But she did. Took their thing and right there in the eyes, you all. Gina, you're making this up. No, I'm not making it up. That's what he told me. I thought, wow, that sounds really wild. And then reading last night about the body parts inside of a UFO, and the military's wondering what are they going to do with those body parts. Well, that somebody didn't keep their part of the deal. I think they brought in some more beings, some more evil entities who don't care about humans, really, and they eat them. Last night, they eat some of these aliens. They need the blood. They got to have an influx of blood because that's how they survive, and other bodily fluids from mammals, from humans and animals. That's how they live. They eat the bodies, and they sounds so strange. And they drink the blood. They drink the blood and the fluid. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, they can't survive without it. They can't. So you become their food source. And was that in a deal with the was that in the deal, the package? Yeah, we give you some humans. You can eat them. You can drink their blood. You can do all of that. Sure, you do whatever you want. Well, if that was in the package deal, then somebody else probably made the deal, and then we only heard a bit of it. Um, yeah. Yes, the hemoglobin. That's why they got these Red Cross centers all over the place, probably, because they need it. And you know what I often thought? This is years ago. Why do people only get buried 6 feet in the ground? 6 feet all across the United States. You're just 6 feet under. Is it because these underground tunnels, these aliens, they got a food source and they like decaying bodies? It probably tastes better to have decaying bodies under the ground, that they can just go up in there and take the bodies, because you're not digging the bodies out, you all. Good morning, Erica, honey. I've often thought about that too. Why only 6 feet? Now I'm 5'1" right here, 5'1", so 6 feet would probably, well, I don't know. It might be up here. It might be up there, you all. No, they gotta have the blood, and they're gonna got the human body parts in the UFOs and the insectoids. So it's a little too much information, but I know they got to get the information out, because it seems like these aliens, these entities, these bad aliens, because they are aliens because they're bad, the malevolent beings, very malevolent, that's evil, they're going to come out of hiding. And I think we're at the point where they want people to know now. And even though it sounds far-fetched, but you couldn't, how could you, they got this stuff in movies, but you can't come out on TV and say, oh yeah, everything you see in the movies, yeah, we got those on this earth. And they're real, they're not make-believe. They can't come out and say that, they can't. So I guess they're letting it come out. Yeah. But Gina, honey, you're not very schooled in what you're doing. You don't really know what you're doing. I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do. I don't want to know it all. I want to learn as I go. And I want to get the information out however I feel led within my spirit, because I'm not going to claim to know everything that's going on. I'm not. I'm going to just share, because I'm thinking tonight I'm going to do story time with Gina again at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to do it. It's probably going to last around an hour or two. An hour also. And it's more about Eisenhower. Eisenhower, and they're probably going to be bringing in the Rockefellers this time too. And they did mention how Bush Sr. was the head of the CIA also. And it was very convenient for them. It really was. It's Well, maybe AI can take control of them. How they like that? AI take control of the bad aliens and fix them? That would be great. It would be. It would be great if it could. Um, yeah. Granada Treaty gone wrong. Yeah. And they never did honor their treaty to not use weather as a weapon. Weather warfare. Don't use it as a weapon, but we see it's like it's being used as a weapon. Yeah. We got, yes, we're gonna get like, we'll get to lizard hunt. You might. There's too many layers. That's right, Cosmic Cowboy. We just need to get an understanding that we are under invasion. We've been invaded by bad beings, and we're not alone. There also was it was the night before, there was a group that they mentioned. It was called the RR, and it was a reptilian resistance. There's a group, this is in their conspiracy thing, a group that, that's what they were called. They want to go after them, an uprising against the reptilians, you all. This is really true. And Gina, don't you know you're gullible and you believe everything you read? I don't believe everything I read. Um, I can resonate with a lot of stuff that I read, and some things I don't want to even resonate with, even though my conscience is speaking to me, screaming at me, Gina, honey, yes, it is happening. You just don't want to believe it. You want to be in denial. When I don't like to think about it. I'm not in denial. I just don't like to think about it. I don't. Shabbat shalom. That's right. We can do it, you all. We're under alien invasion, and it's very mind-boggling. The mere thought, and they passed it off as a conspiracy, but I think the invaders are getting a little antsy, and they're tired of waiting because we're going to have a catastrophic mutating event, and our new rulers are not going to be so whatever. Yeah. Although there is a resistance that is fighting these evil beings that are on the earth. There is. We're not fighting it alone. Oh, you want to eat my grapes, my grape leaf. This thing right here will get really big, and it will eat all the leaves off my grapevine. They will, oh, it went down in the ground. It'll eat everything. You're going down here. No, you don't like it, but I'm sorry, you're going down in the hole. Now let the snake get you. Okay, yeah, they'll eat all the leaves off the grapevine. So I hope somebody finds it underneath there. See, it looks like something's been over here eating here too. Gina, you're supposed to be talking about the aliens. I am. Well, that's an insectoid. It's an insect. Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious. It could be the group that will figure out how to leave the matrix once and for all. The truth frequency, Atlantis is being repeated. We must do it right this time. Lessons come in cycles. Kelly, I really do believe you when you say that. You ever notice that you see repeating scenes, and it might be different people, but in your lifetime, it's something that does repeat. And it's like, it's practically the same instances, the same situations and that you're confronted with, and then you got to redo it, just like different players. It's like asking the same question 20 different times while it's being rewarded in a different way, but it's still the same answer or the same question, and you got to keep answering until you get it right. Sun cycle flash, you all. So the wicked who will be removed, they need to be removed. They really do. Removed forever, but it's not going to be easy to remove them. That's why we can't waver. We got to let our light shine, you all. We really do. But the alien invasion scenario is a lot to wrap your mind around, because there is evil on the earth, and they did make a deal with the bad aliens, and they were told not to do it because they were the biggest danger to the human race. And now we are finding out, and it's like the Pandora's box. The lids literally got ripped off of it, and they can't put it back on, and all these evils are coming out. Applebrooks, honey, Applebrooks oftentimes doesn't even get a notification to the live videos. Same way with the moderators too. They just happen to get on here. Yeah. We'll be circling the black cubes. Well, we might. You had to get over there first, but there's cubes in the sky too, you all. There's cubes everywhere. There really is. The reptile is waiting for her insectoids to be delivered. She's hungry. Yeah, they are hungry. If you look through that lens, everything makes sense why humans are harmed and enslaved. Blue skies, yeah, that's right. You can. You can do it. There's a big cube in your city. Rain purple, did you see it? Yeah, you smash that like button. Whether you want to or not, smash it and break it. It might work now if you do it, because sometimes it doesn't. If you're just tuning in, oh, wow. Queen Bee, Beyonce is Order of the Bee. I've never heard of Order of the Bee. Is that really something, Order of the Bee? It's like Order of the Snakes. Oh, it's in Santa Ana. Oh, wow. It's in, yeah, this alien stuff is in everybody's face. We got some bad entities on this earth. Oh, the Queen Bee. Oh, the secret society is friendly. There are friendly species. There are friendly species of extraterrestrial beings. They are. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. Really. We would not. And we have angels. We have higher dimensional beings that are protecting us, you all. They're there. He gives his angels charge over you. They're ministering spirits. They're spiritual. They're very powerful. The angels are, you all. Some people have seen the angels. My one friend, she saw out her door, her whole entire street, she saw these angels. They were around 10 feet tall, shoulder to shoulder in their robes, and they had golden sashes around their waist. She saw them. She saw 3 angels in the hospital when a loved one passed. They came and took her loved one with them, and they too had the things on them, you all. So they are very real, extremely, extremely real. These higher dimensional beings, angelic beings. She's also seen the angels standing guard outside her house, even though she can also see the dark beings trying to get in her area, but the angels are preventing them from getting into her area. The dark ones are all around, these dark beings, these dark demons, but there's angels also, you all. They're all around. You may not be able to see them. You could probably feel them, but there are people who can literally see right into that realm that's right in front of us. And that's what the darkness doesn't like. That's what the bad entities, they don't want us to calcify your pineal gland so that you can't have that spiritual connection, so you can't see. Because they said it's no good anyhow. We got to get rid of it. It's a piece of junk. It's a piece of junk in your head, that pineal gland right there, more or less. And they're talking about junk DNA. No. And then you think of like the 12 tribes of Israel, the 12 strands of DNA. stuff like that. It's all, I think it all goes together, really. Gina, you don't even know what you're talking about. Well, I see that, I see some similarities. I do. That's right. Yeah. Saturn, yeah, the Saturn, the flat cross. Mm. T, honey, you witnessed the angels and the shadow beings, yeah, but never an alien or a banshee. Isn't that interesting? When your pineal gland opens, you're going to be very powerful. Well, it's said that we're a whole lot more powerful than we realize, really, a whole lot more. But the day will come and then we'll realize how much power that is inside this human body, this vessel that we're in, you all. So, good morning, Michael, honey. I am going to go. You all, it's like 40 minutes long, but I'm going to get off of here. And thank you for listening. It's going to be tonight. Podcasts, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Story time with Gina. And we're going to talk about this alien invasion. It's ongoing, and it really does feel like it's ramping up. If you look around in the world, things are happening really fast. It is. So with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And thank you, Nierka, honey, if you're still on here. If there's any other moderator on here, thank you too. Thank you all for your comments. Love you.